We are Prodigy Agency. We represent and support the best esports players in the world. With our family spirit, we provide everything you need during difficult moments or epic ones. We work on every aspect of your journey, planning and managing your career to find the best teams toward one goal: victory. We negotiate your contracts and transfers. We find sponsors and commercial opportunities. We help you grow your own brand, cultivate your image, and developing your merch, social media, and content. We take care of your health and performances. And everything we do it for you. Your success is our goal. Prodigy Agency, players first. We are Prodigy Agency. We represent and support the best esports players in the world. With our family spirit, we provide everything you need during difficult moments or epic ones. We work on every aspect of your journey, planning and managing your career to find the best teams toward one goal: victory. We negotiate your contracts and transfers. We find sponsors and commercial opportunities. We help you grow your own brand, cultivate your image, and developing your merch, social media, and content. We take care of your health and performances. And everything we do it for you. Your success is our goal. Prodigy Agency, players first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's a new day and it's a new season of ESEA, and this time is the 45th installment. My name is Tudors, and alongside myself, I've got none other than the gorgeous air-conditioned unit himself. Mr. AC, it's a pleasure to have you back on the desk. How are you doing, bud?
Oh my god, it is a pleasure to be back, and I wish I was as chill as I feel because it is gruesomely hot here in Portugal. Our producer can tell you all about that. But yeah, we're back on season 45 of
Yes,
the
sir.
ESEA Advanced with none other than our boys, the Prodigies.
Yeah, definitely so. And they might not, necessarily be the exact same Prodigies that we saw just a couple of weeks ago battling it out in the playoff stages of Season 44, because once again, we have a couple of new additions to the actual team. We have unfortunately lost the talents in the form of Quartz and SBT, but we have got two absolute powerhouse players willing to actually fill in those shoes. We have got the new additions of Patrick and Cree rounding off the original roster of Shield, FNK, and Keen this time around.
Shield, FNK, and Kane, the core of the team stood strong, and now Patrick and Cree are coming in to fill a nice big pair of shoes left by SBT and Quartz here. But hopefully, they still have a lot to show. Unfortunately, we won't have any more Quartz action to go for. What was that? What was the meme? How did the meme go? Darn it! I love the meme.
Which meme?
Firmo, help me. How did the meme go? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But it was amazing, and but yeah, for sure, Patrick and Cree are going to be amazing additions. And I mean, even in season 45, the first presence that the Prodigies had on ESEA Advanced, they managed to pull a miracle run into playoffs. So I am very confident that we're going to be able to do that again with these roster
100%.
updates for season 45.
Yeah, definitely, because even speaking to FNK, who at the time was the IGL for the squad, and even chatting a little bit here and there with Jerome when they finally got that actual promotion from main to advanced. And I remember, at the very least, it was during the Blast World Finals in Abu Dhabi where I randomly ran into Jerome over there because, he was naturally representing all of the Tier 1 players over there. And we were having a small little chat, and he said, like, look, It's brilliant that we made it all the way to the advanced division, but we're going to require so much more work because they were easily able to just blow past every single team back in that main division. But the skill gap between those two divisions, it is night and day difference. And the fact that they've been able to make it all the way to playoffs, however, not taking that trophy home at the end of season 44, it really goes to show just how far this roster has come in the last couple of months. And despite the fact that, yeah, you know, we have lost out on Quartz and we have lost out on SBT, two players that have been a core part of the roster for as long as I've actually been casting the Prodigies for the last 2 seasons as well. They have definitely gone off to some better teams within the top 100 positions, but I'm very excited to see exactly what Patrick and Cree have to offer.
Yeah, exactly. They look like really young players. We also already know the map they're going to play on, but they look like really young players. So that leaves a lot of potential open for to bring something new to the table and something more interesting. Because we saw last season we had a lot of dynamics when it came to our play style, and we had a lot of unpredictability. But sometimes when we stayed behind in a few rounds, we tended to just fall back to a certain default playstyle that really hindered our performance as a whole. Maybe some fresh blood can absolutely help us get through those little slumps and give us a more accessible road towards playoffs.
Yeah, definitely so. And speaking of playoffs, those are obviously a ways down the road. But let's go ahead and actually take a look at the road itself. If we can get the schedule on screen for the start of the regular season, then we can go ahead and just walk you guys through all of the festivities that are going to be taking place within the start of ESEA Season 45. So obviously, starting off, our first opening game of the evening is going to be versus Type in CSGO, a team that already has one singular W under their belts. I believe it was versus PGE on Vertigo, and it went the full distance, 16 to 14. But either way, this is still going to be the first match of the season for the Prodigies, and the action is literally going to be coming in hot and fast in just 3 days time, and then 4 days time afterwards that we've got even more best of one blowouts already lined up for you guys. And already just at the very bottom of the screen, you can see Budapest 5 lined up as our fourth opponent. That is definitely going to be a game that I'm super duper excited for when we eventually get our hands on it.
Actually, let me take a second guess, a second check here, because we also played against Gentlefolk in the last season, and I'm not sure if we actually got a big dub on them, but I do believe that we did. But yeah, Budapest 5, also a big team here that we are gonna play on months.
May.
One of those.
Yes.
The 5th month of the year. On the 2nd day of the 5th month of the year. Yes, and May 2nd, we're going to play against Budapest 5 once again. One of the teams that we had the opportunity to play at the end of last season. So this means that Budapest 5 are also going to be present here on a Season 45 of ESEA Advance. And our first map of the season is going to be none other than Inferno, with our sponsors Razer, Secretlab, and Refrag to help us through this first round.
Yeah, I'm super duper excited for Inferno. I mean, there is no better map to sort of just once again get yourself really accustomed to a couple of new players, because as it is with almost any other single esport that comes out there, once you've got a couple of new additions, and you definitely might be scrimming and practicing a couple of maps in the back end, but when it comes to some of these official matches, try to keep things as basic as possible to ensure that that team cohesion and that team chemistry can start to build up in a very timely fashion. Going to a map such as Inferno, not necessarily Mirage, because it hasn't really been the biggest sort of map staple for the Prodigies in the last couple of seasons, but hell, even Nuke, for example, has been one of the Prodigies' most favorite maps over the course of the last couple of seasons. But hopping into the action right over here, we have the Prodigies starting off on the CT side, and Typin already liking it down mid.
Yep, they're going for a full rush down mid. They get the first frag, and they take down 2 players, make it 3 off of the Prodigies, which puts us in an awkward position here on the defense. But we're switching it up. No longer in the USPs. We're running P2Ks, ladies and gentlemen, as Keen, our in-game leader, is the last man standing to try and defend this round. He does have a flash and a molly.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't look very hopeful. He has recovered the kit as well, and I don't believe he has armor either way, but he is actually going to tuck tail and head back for the hills just to keep all of that util intact, because at the end of the day, molly, 2 flashes in the kit, that adds up to about 1,400 bucks, hilariously enough. If he can get these couple of exits lined up, then he should be safe and sound, but that is still Type, and starting off with one hell of an early pistol. That jump shot that came on through as well, I think it was Kakanito that started it off, was just absolutely sublime, but Keen, nah.
That's
Ruthless.
a shame. I know.
Yeah.
He circled around. He picked up all the utility that he could get. Like you said, close to 1,400 extra cash that he had in pocket there. But unfortunately, he got swarmed. He gave away his position. They knew where he was, and they immediately took him down. With that, round one, pistol round, goes in favor of Taipan CSGO. Let's see now. We're going to be forced into an echo here. No buys whatsoever. Everybody's on the same page. USPs, and actually we have one buy on Patrick in the shape of a P250.
I think that is it actually might be Kree with the P250.
Oh,
I don't
right.
know though. It's always super duper funny because it's just like the actual, it's just the chamber of the actual gun that looks a little bit different than that of the P2K, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from this B stack over here. We've got Patrick on the barrels, and then Shield and FNK directly behind him as well. If Sensei doesn't check for the high ground, then he might be as good as dead, but Taipan not really willing to commit to this push just yet.
No, I don't feel like Sensei should be the one leading the charge here. He's the one with an AK. You want those MAC-10s to be leading, and there we go. The AK from behind does do a lot of damage, and so does MAC-10 in the front. Ooh. As they do run the Prodigies to the ground. They still manage to take one MAC-10 down, but it's down to Kree and his P250 to try to dwindle someone else. Maybe collect the gun here from Taipan and try to do something with it, but I doubt that's going to be the case because the bomb has been planted. It's a 1v4 scenario. Maybe you can cheat a kill at me.
Maybe. What is that actual P250 skin that we see Kree rocking? I don't think I've actually seen it in my life.
You're the wrong tree, man.
Okay.
I have no clue.
I mean, me personally, I'm running the Valence, which is just like a really cool white skin with a couple of neon colors, and then there's also kind of like the see-through P250 as well that's got like a transparent magazine.
Really?
I've got that one as well. Yeah, no. As far as I can remember, it's also like region locked as a pistol. You have to like change your Steam store region to France to be able to unlock it, which I did once accidentally because you can't unlock cases in the Netherlands.
Yes.
I wanted to open cases and they're just blocked here in the Netherlands.
I'm sure you accidentally got it. No, I personally am a cartel enthusiast. I run the P250 cartel. I run the AK cartel as well. And I don't run the double Deagles or the double Berettas cartel because I just don't think that skin is that good compared to the other cartels.
I can't off the top of my head actually name a good dually skin. There's not that many out there.
Good dually skin. I think it's the dozers, the orange ones. I like the orange ones.
Oh yeah, those are pretty sick.
I know.
Those are pretty sick.
They're a little bit. They're I think they're battle scars. They're a little bit scratched. I like the effect that it does. But now, look at the Prodigies. They've already taken down 2 players and let one in a bit of. He turned around. He didn't get backstabbed. What was that? FNK.
I heard the actual just slice of the knife through the flesh, and that was the kind of backstab animation SFX that should have killed him outright, but I guess man's built different.
Dude, that's the thing. He turned around as the animation was going through, and it didn't count as a backstab. He just gave him a Joker smile.
Yeah, it took a second for that to click, but yeah, no, just a slice right across the face, as you mentioned.
Yup, just as soon as he turned around, like he was just sitting in the corner, turns around, gets stabbed in the jaw, takes him out as a response, and now it's Taipan they're forced into a forced buy here. Double Tech 9s. We've seen in the previous season that the Prodigies suffered a lot with the Tech 9 rounds.
Yeah, they lost a couple of those anti-ecos in the very last season, and it wasn't necessarily like isolated incidents here and there. They did struggle with anti-ecos quite often, which is something that does need to be desperately worked on. But as Taipan are starting to set their plans into motion, they've locked off arches, tagged up Patrick, and they've already got him with tails tucked between his heels. This is very rough. The entire A bomb site is compromised.
Yep. Yes, it is. That entry was absolutely crucial here for Taipan, but they're not going to commit to A site. They actually wanted to rotate, and this probably put them in a very, very poor position as FNK managed to take down Queel.
This is absolutely amazing from FNK. He posed the question, you want to know how I get these scars? And he just got himself a 3-piece right over there, but Shield unfortunately gets caught out on the lurk as well. Nito finds him in an absolutely sublime fashion as Typin have got the bomb down a few seconds ago. It's down to Kree with the 47 to see if he can clutch up, and both players on Typin's side, they are on low HP, but Kree doesn't have a kit. And time is starting to expire quite rapidly, so the only option he has is to keep this rifle intact.
I know, just fall back. Man, I wanted to put him on blast. You know, since he's a new kid on the block, wanted to see what he could bring to the table, see what he could do, see if he could clutch around and be my new favorite player. But no, that's not going to be the case. Or it can still be the case, but not this round. At least not this round. 1-3 on the scoreboard. Kree is going to secure that AK for himself. And I guess the Prodigies as a whole are still solid enough to go for a buy here.
Couple of MP9s potentially just tossed on about, but yeah, back to FNK right there inside a CT spawn. He had little to no business actually kind of just chilling there, and the fact that Typin, instead of actually collapsing on the A bomb side, decided to rotate back over towards B, they felt right into his awaiting arms, whether they knew it or not. And FNK, man, didn't miss. He found all of the shots that needed to count the most, and he definitely gave the Prodigies a saving grace right there, but sadly, it's not meant to be. Shield with the A1S at the very top of mid as we've got Dan looking to go for that balcony boost as well. It's a bit much more of a slower approach coming out from Typin this time.
It is. The Prodigies are also fully stacked. I believe that Taipon do know that Prodigies are holding a full buy, or at least, at the very least, a forced buy. Yeah. We still have 4 smokes to work with, so I guess Taipon want to be slower on their push. The Taipon split find Kree for its shield a little bit further back, and the FAMAS doing a little bit of damage here as they take down Dan 1.
Keen up close and personal, right up in his face, and the MP9 just shreds him to bits. He's also exchanged that SMG for a little bit of a better rifle as well, but through the smoke comes out the push. That's control of bomb secured by Keen.
Bomb secured by Keen after an MP9 lobotomy, and now Sensei is facing a wall of smoke and a bomb to be picked up. I believe this could easily be a round that the Prodigies will hold on to. We don't have any more utility to work with, but then again, neither do Taipon. Well, they have 1 smoke, but I don't think they have enough time to put it to good use.
Probably not, and you've got Patrick already making moves down towards T-Ramp. Sensei and Nito, they're starting to, well, just go for a little bit of a safe call right here because they realize this ship has long since sailed. There is no way for them to recover that bomb, even if they wanted to. The Prodigies, they've got this entirely down on lock. Good stuff coming out from them. Little bit disappointed that Kree just got absolutely peppered at the very start of the round over towards short with the AK. That was a crucial engagement that should have definitely gone in his favor, but it, at the end of the day, was Keen to just masterfully hold down that B bombs or that banana side, get control of the bomb, and that was the silver chip for them.
The boiler kill truly was a shame, but I guess Keen's position was unpredictable for Taipon. They didn't bother to look at the corner there, and hey man, we don't say no to free guns, and that was a great AK, a great pop from Keen that absolutely took us around there. So Keen coming back strong in Season 45 of ESEA Advanced, as now they head into round number 6, 1 round behind Taipon, but we still have a lot of CSGO to play.
Yeah. It's another anti-eco for the Prodigies as Typin. They have basically got 2 rifles to work with, surrounded by 2 Tech 9s and a Mac 10. So they've completely stacked over towards this boiler side, and they might just be able to fully corrupt the A-bomb side yet again. Shield is already inside Ninja. Patrick over towards Long, and it's been completely full flash. Blindly sprays on through, but can't find the lethal kills right there. But here comes Kree to the rescue with 2 and a 3rd on top of that, and this has fallen apart for Typin faster than you could count. I don't know, faster than you could say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You lost me on the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah, one of those. Now Jackie is the last man standing. He's going to get taken down as he tries to go in for the plant to try and secure some extra cash into his pocket, but the Prodigies tie up the scoreboard. Kree was crucial that round, and, you know, I feel like that man's earning a spot in my heart. Oh, but then Keen shows up on a shirt, and I just love him again. I like it when
You
they
gotta
dress for
admit.
the occasion.
Oh, they always do. They always do. We've got some of the most glorious hunks in the entire CSGO community on this squad. Yeah.
Glass is being broken as Taipon are now going on a kind of a full echo. 2 Deagles being bought by them. And the Prodigies are sticking to their guns. Triple AK set up with double M4s, one of them suppressed. As now they are just trying to find a way to try to maybe push this. They don't feel too motivated to just throw in the round. Usually when you see like these pistol rounds, you expect them to just run in blindly, maybe try to secure a kill as a pack, but they don't seem too motivated to do that.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I do think the Taipan are just trying to bait out as much utility from the Prodigies without actually, you know, sort of sacrificing themselves, which they have done to a good extent so far. Sure, they have lost out on Queel at the very, very start as FNK continuously taps away from behind Car, but they've already forced the Prodigies to exhaust numerous frag grenades and some more of those Molotovs, but FNK classic jump spotting already knows where everyone is lined up at, and he's just gonna farm them for days.
No.
Triple headshots claimed, and eventually Jackie will get a kill back in his favor, but his days are surely numbered. He is stuck and isolated in a corner, and Keen with an M4 drive-by is going to put a nail in that coffin.
Like how Keen pseudo-surfed his way into that last frag as if he knew he was being watched, and just got himself the kill here for the Prodigies. Amazing spray as well by FNK, clearing out numbers of Taipei with a single spray. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Missed the 4th, swapped into a pistol. Couldn't find the mark, but he did more than what he had to do, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. He just lined him up and knocked him down. Even in the anti-eco, those kills are still uber valuable right there, but let's see. Taipan back again with a full buy this time around, so we're gonna get back down to proper business. Sensei is gonna eat a boatload of damage from that HE, and a flash coming on through prompts FNK to go for the swing and the spray. He already bags one, and there's Patrick chiming in elsewhere at the top of mid, not just once but twice. This round is down the gutter for Taipan.
Yep, and we didn't even get a chance to say to commentate on the fact that Shield picked up an op. He didn't get a chance to use it.
No,
Prodigy is just too good right now. They're just cutting them down as they try to come in through mid. Doesn't seem like the proper way to go here for Taipon. No setup on mid. They just throw themselves into the cross and getting immediately obliterated as they come through. Shield might get the last pick. He already sees them. He saw the arm, could have got the shot, but didn't try to get him, and he finishes up with a shot right through the nip.
I mean, look, even caught me a little bit off guard right over there. It took me a second to process it. I can tell you for a fact. Actually, no, not for a fact. I'm just assuming that getting a that is not the kind of nipple piercing you would want to receive.
You can probably pass a whole tube through it after that.
It's kind of like the exact same saying that I have with like those hoops that people get around their earlobes. If I can throw if I can start throwing a golf ball through it, it's probably a little bit too big.
There's no such thing as too big when it comes to earlobe piercings, and now we do see FNK moving in through the smoke. This is ambitious here as they wait, did they just cross each other? Queel has no idea neither does FNK.
No,
Hello?
like ships in the night, they pass and they miss each other. Queel eventually does get absolutely gunned down by Kree, and FNK left teetering and wondering to himself, how on earth did he miss that one player?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say the same about Queel. How did he miss FNK? You know, they were there's the op from Shield controlling apps. He sees them both stacking over there, but yeah. So far, it's working great here for the Prodigies as they move in closer and closer to the halfway mark. It's 10 round. We're 10 rounds in, and we made a huge comeback after losing the initial 3 rounds, I believe.
The first 2 we bounced back with 1, and then Taipan did get themselves that round number 4 under their belts. But since then, it has been well, smooth sailing and has been absolutely flawless. I believe that we've got a couple of players on the CT side of the Prodigies that are just about edging that 10K mark in terms of raw cash. That's how good it's going.
Absolutely, and on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, Taipon, the most cash you see on their pockets is 450 here for Jackie, who is at 43 after getting his feet slightly crisped by the incendiary grenade coming in from the Prodigies. You countered the
can
push on
imagine.
Banana.
I can imagine that like burnt toenails are probably the worst smell in all of existence.
I probably could, but I don't want to, honestly.
I don't want to either, but just like picturing it would be, just no. So much damage already dealt to all of these Type-in players. We've got Nito and Queel and Jackie all on sub half HP. The util has been doing the majority of the talking right now for the Prodigies. They have softened up so many of these Ts.
Wow.
And there goes an extra 2 players just lost to hard util. Dan does eventually clap back with one on to Kree, and he's actually broken through long.
Yeah, but I do feel like the damage has been done. The Prodigies are probably going to communicate themselves into into the information that, yeah, exactly. Oh, well. Patrick gives the information, but he immediately dies for it as Sensei does pick up, shields up, and puts it to good use. And all of a sudden, the tables have turned, and now it's a 2v2.
So, open bomb plant for Type-in, so they can easily get this down with little to no contestation. And, well, FNK and Keen, they've got to force this. They've got no other options. One flashbang and a smoke is all that you realistically need to pull off a retake right over here, but you've got Dan tucked inside of this covey, and he could be the defining factor if they check him. By the looks of it, they have no clue where he is.
Wow.
Easy frag onto Keen, and before FNK can even react to it, he's also gone and staring at the respawn screen. So Type-in, they finally put an end to their bad laurels. They do pick up a round right over here, but it's not going to be smooth sailing for them. They've got a rough road ahead of them for the time being, because the Prodigies, they've got cash for days and they can continuously buy to their heart's content.
Yeah, at least for another couple rounds, right? I mean, we're already 11 in. We're close. Like I said, we're closing in on the halfway mark. We're still very, very comfortable. Still, we have another full buy on FNK's pocket as is, and so is same to be said about Keen as well. And they're still saving money on helmets here. They're all just going for Kevlar bar Patrick.
Yeah. Sensei with a lovely opener right over there. He will get tagged up all the way down to 14 the moment that HE found a little bit of extra contact. FNK on a recovery mission does salvage the sniper rifle, but he's looking a little bit worse for wear as Type-in have also broken through the short side. It's Kree down below in pit to try to keep them in check and on lock. That smoke will nullify the Molotov, but he doesn't know what to look for. Kree will finally get away with one, but Dan immediately trades it back. Patrick to the rescue, but he can only tag up a few people. That A bomb site has completely fallen. That's an oof.
One of the big ones. Still, you have numerical equality, but not the same. We can say the same about the HP here, as our health is a little bit lower. Patrick moves in.
Brilliant.
What a huge entry from Patrick. Spider-Man inbound, but they don't know where Jackie is.
No. He's biding his time. He's looking for more information, but he's waiting for that smoke to dissipate, and as the defuse is being stuck, he has to make a move. He finds Keen and FNK, but it's too little too late. The defuse stick comes on through, and Prodigies, they walk away with nothing but the round on the scoreboard.
And I think the round is a pretty solid takeaway from here. You have to wonder what Jackie was looking for. I believe he wanted the perfect lineup, waiting for the smoke to dissipate. He just didn't have... oh, they had a TK there. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, there was a TK coming on through, which is how we ended up in the 3v3 situation.
Fair enough. But still, like, you have to wonder what Jackie was looking for. Was he looking for the opera? Was he trying to make sure who the opera was so he could secure it at the round's end? Because he had a clean 3K there, where the Prodigies didn't mind to look behind them to see where Jackie was throughout the whole round.
No. And there's Jackie once again finding the opener onto FNK this time around. The top fragger on the side of the Prodigy is now completely dealt with. Keen is going to be prompted to go for a swing over towards Banana, but finds nothing for it, and Shield is going to start to get curious. The Shadow is spotted, but he gets away with the frag onto Dan. Do it twice over, and suddenly he puts Queel into a 6-foot grave as well.
Yes, he does. I guess you could say that Shield's already warming up to his op, but let's see exactly how the Prodigy can imagine round 12 as we queue in for comms.
I have night and flashes.
Just hold motto, yeah? Patrick.
Flash pull for fake.
Flashed.
One banana, he stepped. Coming B. I survived.
I'm ready to flash, call it.
Finish, pull, pushing.
Flashed.
I survived.
They stopped.
I survived. Can
Stay,
I...
stay,
I'm second.
yeah. I have long.
Stepping. Coming B.
2 people here. Not committing or searching.
Could be
What
CT, watch out.
was
Maybe
CT?
CT.
I don't
Don't see
see.
ruins
If
behind
he's
him.
not ruins, he's not in the ruins. If he's not ruins, he cannot come.
Short one. Dead. One more.
Leaving.
Holding short, holding
Side
short,
glass.
Patrick.
Bomb is in pit.
holding short.
10
Nice.
seconds.
He's side.
Duck,
Pushing you.
Nice,
Nice,
guys.
Patrick.
Really good, Patrick, bro. I love that you didn't rotate there.
Ah, man. I love that you didn't rotate. There's something that you can say on all right, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to go through with that. But yeah, amazing play here from the Prodigies. They managed to secure the round beautifully. Great call here from production. Great call here from Patrick not to rotate, already showing presence of mind here when it comes to
big round.
when it comes to playing around in Inferno.
Yeah, definitely big round coming out from Patrick right over there, the sole anchor left on the A bomb side, and he just quickly isolates all those necessary 1v1s. But back to the matter at hand, though, Typin, they're out for blood. They can smell it in the water, and they want revenge. Keen finally keeps the lockdown, but he's getting run down by this Deagle. And he can't get away with much more other than that. Patrick now has to hop into the rescue. It's a 2v3. And Typin, they've already recovered a massive amount of rifles, fully stocked up as the bomb starts to go down. There'll be a confirmed plant right here, and Sensei eventually teams up Kree on top of that. Patrick, already on low HP, is the easiest frag of Queel's life, and he's left on 1 HP, and the dream comes true. Typin, they keep the Prodigies in check, and once again, it was in an eco round for Typin that they somehow managed to break through.
All right. And now we have the first technical, or is it the first technical pause of the game? I believe so.
Not sure, but it's quickly
All right.
resolved.
Yeah, it's quickly resolved. All right. But for sure now, Prodigy's 8-5, still a solid CT round here for Inferno. Ooh, Shield almost got a blind frag there with the op, couldn't quite find the mark. Squeal opens up the scoreboard on round 14. And not the halfway mark, and Shield was slightly off on the crosshair.
Dude, Queel doesn't give a hoot. He just frickin' throws caution to the wind and goes in guns a-blazing. Rambo style, he's already up to 3 right now as he shuts down Kree. He single-handedly barges through a Molotov, finds Patrick over towards short, then just vibe checks the absolute hell out of Shield on the AWP, and suddenly he finds the lowly little rat that is Kree inside of Pit. How does he do it?
I mean, well, how wouldn't he do it? He's doing so great right now.
It's crazy.
I know. It is absolutely incredible how Taipon managed to break through this round, and this can give them like the confidence that they were looking for in the previous rounds. Ooh, not enough. Not enough. They know exactly where to find them. Small little break there on the last round before the halfway mark, really putting a hamper here on the Prodigies, and this is 8-6 right now, moving into the 15th round. The Prodigies don't have a lot of money to work with on the halfway mark.
No, this is the last round of the first half, as you mentioned, and everyone is sort of floating around $2,000. This is absolutely insane to me. I cannot wrap my head around just how absolutely goated Queel was in that last round. He was kicking so much ass, he completely forgot to take names.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But let's see now.
So we've got, we've got the Scout, 2 SMGs, lovely little run boost coming on through to fish for intel, and they're just going to start running it down mid. They get away with one on Tonito as well, which is as good as an opener that you could find and ask for. But now you have got to once again just try to adapt on the fly, because Typin, they're going to regain that advantage one way or another.
That is literally something we did, or at least not that I have seen the Prodigies pull off at all. On the last season of ESEA Advanced, the run boost with the Scout to get a shot and then finish it off with a Deagle, that was incredible. We need more of
Rare
that.
sight. Yeah, we do, but desperate calls, they do call for desperate measures at times. They don't want to forfeit this last round, this 15th type inside. If they can walk away with 9 on the CT, that would be absolutely perfect right now, but 3v4 scenario with 2 Deagles, minimal armor to work with, it's rough.
Scout. I mean, we could circle around, maybe get the gonna get Canito dropped on the floor, but I don't think that can be an option. Queel spots someone running around on CT side. It's Shield on a Deagle, scurries around with the Deagle in hand, does not want to get caught off, but he does get spotted. Has to tries to white swing, doesn't quite find the mark. It's taken down. It's up, keen on the scout. It's taken down. Wheel secures the round at the halftime mark.
Yeah, unfortunate conclusion for the first half as the Prodigies, they lost out on all of their cash right there and couldn't really muster up anything towards the very, very end. And when it came to Queel's individual performance right there, he was the devil incarnate, just gunning them down left, right, and center, the saving grace for Typin. Now, can they continue that? We'll find out shortly after this break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
With a full clip of lyrics, feel my spirit from your head to your speakers. Know where I'm headed, but riches. If you ain't with it, then good riddance. Popping and locking, I'll never be stopping. I'm jogging and never be breaking that sweat. I'm a short dropper.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the first match of Season 45 at ESEA. Current scoreline, as you can see on your screens, is 8-7 after 15 rounds of play on Inferno so far. It started off really damn good on the CT side, but yeah, the side of Typin, they have a little bit of beef that remains unsettled.
Yes, they do. I mean, our economy was super solid all the way through, I'd say, the halfway mark, where we were ahead by quite a few rounds. But then all of a sudden we kind of lost momentum, and Typin kind of gained their own momentum, and as a consequence they managed to come back into the first half of the map, and now we are on the offensive, running Glocks and a P250 on FNK versus double Berettas on Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie, he's actually
built like a tank.
Yeah, he's actually boosted down here over towards the flower pot side, so that's going to be a little bit tricky for the Prodigies to try to clear out. They've got one smoke, which is now going to be tossed off over towards CT, and they know about Nito's live position. They keep it close and tidy, but here comes Jackie, Tomb Raider style, and he finds not one but two frags right there. Control of the bomb established, and in the blink of an eye, this entire round crumbles in front of the Prodigies. It's all down to Patrick right here. He's got the Glock, the little blicky that could.
There's Blocky that could, and it can, and it does, but it ran out of ammo. 4 HP in a dream, but that's going to be all that she wrote. The Prodigies still managed to chop down some numbers away from Typin, but unfortunately not enough to secure the round. And once again, the pistol round is lost. And we saw once again as well a lot of trigger discipline coming in from Typin.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they did a really good job of actually baiting the swing over towards the banana side by CT where the smoke usually gets dropped down. And the moment that contact was actually established, you saw the Typin, they started to retreat just a little bit further, and then they just kind of left it all the way up to Jackie, who was boosted on flower pots, to then just wreak absolute havoc. And the Prodigies, they weren't expecting it. They were just a little bit tunnel visioned by that first USP that found contact, which I found to be really well done by Typin on the CT side.
Well, I guess you learn it every round that you play. Now they have the information that they do. Is that a UMP 45?
That's the but can it pump? There's one onto FNK and a second onto Keen. Well done, and here comes Dan just cleaning up house. He's got a bucket, he's got a mop, and he's on janitor duty right there.
You're on fire today, aren't you?
I know, right?
Well, I mean, Taipon had a second round of incredible performances. The crosshair was exactly where it should be. The Prodigies made it look easy for Taipon, but now it's time to get real. We are on the offense. It is 9-8. Taipon once again leading the charge in this match as we are on a full buy of AKs.
I'm getting hit across the face by a sense of deja vu because in the first half, right, we saw Taipon walk away with the opening pistol and immediately the round that followed after that in number 2.
Yeah.
And if history is going to repeat itself, then the Prodigy should be able to tie things up neatly here, but it is Sensei with the to find the opener this time around. Krieg gets caught with his pants around his ankles going for that balcony boost.
I'm actually surprised that the won the trade at that close, like, against the AK damage-wise. I guess the shots just didn't land for Kree. But you're going yet again for another boost. Make sure the is still there. And it's not. The can't hurt you.
It is, no matter how many times your therapist tells you that the doesn't exist and it can't hurt you, it always finds a way.
It does. And the right now swapping out positions. You know, he's circling around, CT spawn coming around, but we do see the Prodigies making sure that they have a clear entrance over towards A. Taking it slow as 35 seconds are currently left on the clock. Let's try and make a move. Taipon, it's like they know what's going on. They have the perimeter nice and closed around the bomb plant site.
Oh, brilliant anti-flash as well. They don't actually snuff out Nito. He gets away with 2 on top of that, make it a 3rd, and is down to FNK to try to clean him out. It gets messy. It is a heartbreaking round for the Prodigies, but FNK has got to pull through. One shot found over towards Long, but just at the wrong moment, he tries to secure the bomb plant down, but he's caught wide in the open, and the MP9 cleans him up.
There was also the issue that he canceled the reload twice, so he was only working with a couple of rounds. Even if he didn't pull out the bomb, he wouldn't have enough ammo on that magazine to actually pull. Like, he canceled the reload right there, but he wouldn't have enough ammo to actually pull through with the reload and attempt to, or with the spray and attempt to get the clutch 3K there. It was a 1v1 scenario. Unfortunately, FNK couldn't pull through, but Taipon 10-8.
They're having a ridiculous start off to the CT half so far, and they've actually got their hands on Big Green this time around. Tossing it into the arms of Sensei is what we're dealing with right now. And Nito's at the very top of the app's pop as well, and he's got that entire avenue locked down. Should the Prodigies decide to go for an A execute over here, they've got quite a little bit of util as well. It's just the one smoke grenade that I believe is going to be tossed out over towards Long and just cut that off, ensuring that Sensei can't really find any impact with that AWP, so he will reposition. But do they actually want to commit to this? Looks like they are.
Shield's teaching me something new here. Nice little flash bouncing up the chimney. Dan's been spotted. That's a huge frag, dropping into 44 HP. And that's a free kill here for the Prodigies as they have FNK and Patrick on the entry because they do have Kevlars. Let's see how they work with them.
Uh-oh. Does Jackie know? I don't know if he knows. We'll see if he knows. Popping it over to comms. Let's see what the Prodigies think of this.
I will kill him soon.
Yeah.
One short, or balcony, short or
Balcony. He was shooting
Behind
from
default,
balcony.
behind default.
I think
He's alone, he's alone.
Sit behind default.
He's hit.
Dead.
Dead. 3v2. Library.
Library.
bomb down.
I have him.
I'm planting.
I'm going pit.
Yep.
Get short library.
I need to reload once.
Flashing long.
Blind.
Blind.
One mini pit.
Nice try.
Dude, I wanted that stab to come through.
Yeah, same. Same. I really wanted
gasped.
the extra... Yeah, I thought he was going to go for the backstab, but just no. FNK doesn't play around. He says, I kill him in Romanian accent, and then kills the man inside of library.
Simon! That's what I wanted! Simon Horak! Never mind. Right,
Huh?
I know he's not. He's no longer in the team. But that was crazy. That was what I was trying to remember. But as we head into the 20th round of the first game of the Prodigies on ESEA Advanced Season 45, Taipon leading the charge with 11 rounds to only 8 from the Prodigies. So we're on a full buy. Shield has an AK to his name. We open up with a trade.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a yikes right over there. That kill should have been found a little bit faster onto Queel, and Nito does come on in for a trade, but it is Patrick to reaffirm that man advantage for the Prodigies. Kree with the wild spray down through on top of that finds Nito at the top of mid, and for the first time in what feels like this entire half, the Prodigies have actually got the man advantage.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate, and we got it in a very, very chaotic way, but one that Taipon didn't seem to expect. It's like we found a chink in their armor, and we're absolutely exploiting it.
Jackie does keep things neat and tidy inside of A, and they don't really want to screw around with him anymore, so we're going to leg it over towards B, but Sensei on the lock. He's got that avenue completely closed off with the AWP, smokes himself off to reposition over towards Dark. I like this with the AWP, but the Molotov actually doesn't even land at its feet. It gets extinguished, and Patrick as a sitting duck. Kree does manage to actually break through. As the flash comes on through, his retinas are completely burnt. Can he find Sensei? Yes, he does as the smoke fades. Could swap out. And he reads into the B. Rotate on top of that. No bomb needed. He's got 7.62 rounds with their names written all over it.
And those 7.62s made short work of the Taipon squad. That was a heart-wrenching round. We started off really, really well. Had a bit of a lull here on the halfway through the round, but then Kareem manages to clutch it out in a 2v1, clears out Sensei's clean up, and secures an up for us, and specifically for Shield. I don't like the Swag 7 in the hands of Jackie, though.
I love the Swag 7. It is going to be very, very scary, though, as Keen already goes down. Swag 7 now dropped for the AK, and Jackie did go for a little bit of a wide swing there, but nothing found on the opposite end. Shield doesn't even want to try to combat that. He is going to straight up ignore and ghost that B side.
I don't think it really matters how far you swing with the Mag 7 when you're that close. You know?
No, it doesn't. Also, good read coming out from FNK. Spots the feet through the gap of the smoke. And he has a sneaking suspicion that Dan's rotated in towards Cubby. Brilliant spray transfer coming on through from FNK right there to make quick work of this long hold.
What a turnaround from FNK. He had the well, okay. That was a scope. That was a quick scope. Not a no scope. Quick scope. But yeah, that was an incredible turnaround from FNK. He had the suspicion, like you said, that there was a Taipon player on the corner. He took one out across the long haul, turned around, complete 180, takes down the second one in the same spray. That was an incredible play. And now it's just a matter of closing out Queel for the round secure.
Yeah. He doesn't stand a chance in hell.
I wouldn't jinx it.
I mean, this close to Cubby, even if he wasn't going to be found out, he would have gone down to the bomb, and there wasn't even, I think, a single rifle for him to try to pick up and salvage into the next round, but that was the turnaround that the Prodigies needed. Even though it was an anti-eco, they were able to get it done and keep the side of Taipon on a leash, because, unironically, just over the course of these last 21 rounds of play that we have seen so far, Taipon have been quite successful in their anti-ecos when they're left with nothing but a couple of pistols to use. So being able to buck that trend couldn't have happened at a better time for the Prodigies.
Yep, absolutely. And now we do see that Taipon actually have a full buy in their hands after that eco. Still run a Mac 10 on in the hands of Queel, so that is something to be wary of. As we start to break an entry here, Sensei opens up the scoreboard. We trade 2 kills, make it 3 on Creed, a double kill, and now Jackie is the POV to look at as he takes down 2 members of the Prodigies and drops it to a 2v1. We have an AWP, we have an AK, and we have a Queel to try to defend the A site.
Yeah, where is the bomb, though? That is the main question. I think it's on the back of Shield, and he's rotating in through apps on top of that, so Queel might be able to actually beat him to the punch right over here. Oh, he gets tagged and spotted out. That's free intel for Patrick to enact upon. Easy pickup right there as the Prodigies, well, after that round, they tie up the scoreline in a blood-soaked bow.
Yep, they tie up the scoreline and in a commanding manner because we were getting really, really close to the end of the match. 11-11, and I don't think it's a good position for either team to be on a short economy, which is exactly the place that Taipon are currently at. They're going to go into a forced eco round. They only have one grenade to work with, one Deagle, one P250, and should be a good round for the Prodigies to exploit.
Yeah.
Should they have the information that Taipon don't have an optimal buy.
Probably not, no. Quick moves being made over towards this B side, and Taipon already having heard the footsteps, they've already sent extra men back down over towards B. Some of them already tagged up quite heavily as Keen is checking every single angle. Flower Pop Boost has also been read into, but Jeki is absolutely lethal with that Deeg.
Yes, he is. What's a stop? What's a full stop here on the Prodigies' push? Now they're gonna be rotating.
Get away with an AK as well.
Yes, they do. Patrick finds Sensei on the stairs. Let's see. It's they still have 3 members to work with. Make it 2.
That's a freebie
oh wow,
right there for
these
free.
crossfires are very, very dangerous for the Prodigies. We'll make it work. Kree being crucial here on the T side on 17 kills. Most of them garnered throughout these attacking rounds.
Yeah, he didn't exactly have the best first half on the CT side. Couple of missed opportunities and unsuccessful clutches, but he has been carrying more than his own weight in gold, basically, in this T side as well, finding impact left, right, and center.
Dude, we were looking at Jackie's POV there, and I saw him staring down the chicken. I heard the intrusive talks coming through. You know, he wanted to do it. He wanted to. I'm glad he didn't, though.
You're a casual chicken pro-lifer enjoyer?
Are you not? Chickens save
no.
lives, man. You know?
I mean, look, the only reason why I kill the chickens is because, funnily enough, in matchmaking, like, if you kill sufficient chickens, you know how you have, like, the MVP screen and it says, like, oh, yeah, this guy had the most triple kills. This guy was the ace of aces, right? On Inferno, there's an award for killing the most chickens, and that's me every single match.
You're evil. I don't like you anymore.
Right.
I am. Regardless, Prodigy's on 12, Taipon on 11. Still looking really, really good, but Taipon now are on a full buy, and Sensei has an op in his hands. We know how dangerous that could potentially be.
Ooh, I
double
like
stack.
this. Boiler boost does get read into. Kree already communicating that there's an extra person down there. Queel finds one onto the balcony as well, but it's time for me to shut up. Let's tune in.
Long, long, close, broom.
One more short.
One more. Long,
Short.
last B.
Smoking
Oh,
backside.
last top. Coming. Get
Could come
short.
through.
Molotoving short. Right side gap.
I'll plant safe.
Good.
I resmoke Moto. You can play pit if you
Yeah.
want. We can do Bulgaria setup. You notice?
Just smoke first, and I will go ahead shot.
Just
Nice, Patrick. Nice.
Auf geht's, come on.
Auf geht's!
All right, Tudor. I need your help
Yes,
here.
I'm
What the
listening.
heck is a Bulgarian setup?
I was about to ask that as well. Like, the comms were so damn clean that I suddenly hear, what the heck is a Bulgaria setup?
I don't know. I am curious. I'm afraid to Google it, though. It sounds like something I don't want on my search history.
Probably not, no. I mean, I can try and speculate as much as I want, but thankfully, as part of this broadcast, we have interviews as well, so we can definitely ask the interviewee what the hell the Bulgaria setup is.
I am scared, but we are currently in a tactical pause as we approach the final rounds of this game. The Prodigies are leading with a comfortable lead facing off against Taipon CSGO. So kind of like exactly how you predicted it to go out. Not a total copy of the first half of the match.
Not entirely,
No, not entirely, but we had a little bit of a lull. We lost a couple of rounds initially. We lost 4 rounds in a row actually initially, but then we came back with 5 rounds in a row, putting us on 13 and 11.
It's been the comeback of dreams right now for the Prodigies. This run boost, though, by Sensei was so damn close. Just a couple of pixels away from actually finding an entry, and this is ballsy coming out from Typin as well. The lowly hero AWP to do the majority of the heavy lifting as Sensei already finds one. Nito already capitalizes onto FNK, so he'll be calling from the respawn screen, unfortunately enough. And already within the first 20 to 30 seconds, the Prodigies, they've suffered 2 casualties.
The second we start praising them is the second that they start flopping the round.
Fumbling the bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So no more of that. As we still have 3 members to work with. One of them is our Resident Opera Shield. Oh, he gets tagged heavily on the banana entrance.
Down to 15 means that even that little P250 in the hands of Queel will easily pick him up. Sensei finds his second and his third of the round. The only rifle on the CT side just absolutely chews through the Prodigies. And Typin with an anti-eco and an AWP buy, they get away with daylight robbery. So much so that they're going to use some of those funds to invest into a second big green.
Wow. Double up setup. One on Jackie, another one on Sensei. That is a tough bone to chew here for the Prodigy. I'm confident that this is information that they have no idea or have no access to currently. We're running a single op as you would expect to maybe duel it out in the mid, but that's not going to happen. The op setup for Taipan currently, you have one around B site looking down banana. The second op, number 3, is tagging down on A site. Yeah.
Yep. Over by short. So the Prodigies, they have 2 options. Completely ignore the AWPs or then just find a way to deal with them, ideally by having to, you know, buddy up and line up very, very favorable gunfights. But for the time being, minimal contact has been found. We are making progress over towards this site, and we have baited out quite a little bit of util from Typin's side, but so much more has been exhausted for the Prodigies. They are down to just 2 flashes and a couple of smokes.
I'm gonna hold short now.
Let
me hold short.
Long one.
He's in James. James.
Holding
Nice,
short.
go back me. Rush me, rush me, rush me, rush me.
Get close. Might have pushed. Take the bomb.
We switch shield and I go first.
Let King
Let
go
me go
first.
first. Do this,
I will
do
smoke
smoke
CT.
I smoke
did
ruins.
I jump.
It blocked.
Ruins. Out. Full.
Dead.
CT.
Let's
Dead.
go.
One more
CT,
CT. CT and Hopper.
CT dead.
Hopper.
I have banana. I have banana.
I'll try ruins as well.
And
Well.
with that banana, I mean, Taipan are left with only an op to play with. That was an incredible rush B. That sounded like my my matchmaking comms, honestly.
Yeah, usually. I mean, how often do you load up into just a nice little ranked game and the first thing you hear is, "Hey guys, rush B, yes? Okay."
Exactly. So that being said, we are going to stay in the lead right now. This was a very good round for the Prodigies as a whole. We only lost Keen in the process of the 27th round of this match. And honestly, it is not a terrible position because this is very good for our economy. Even if we lose a couple rounds down the line, we can still we are still healthy enough in the we're still healthy enough in this economy to actually afford to go into another round. But still, that doesn't mean we can afford to be complacent. We still need to respect our opponents and make a solid game. I like the unpredictability of the rush B though. That was a great call.
It was a really good call. I mean, they got themselves an entry over towards A just to bait out a rotate from Typin in the hopes that they would rotate one of those extra players from B over towards A, which I do believe they did, and that left that bomb site severely understaffed. They've already drawn first blood in round number 27 as well. We have to wave goodbye to Queel, and Jackie isn't looking all too healthy after eating a little bit of util damage on top of that.
See as Molly flies over the wall. Oh, he ate that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, right in the chest.
Yeah, that's going to leave a bruise.
There we
You're going
go.
to feel that one in the morning.
39 HP off of one HE. That was the impact damage plus the full blast. Not a great position for FNK to be in, so he's going to be... Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good play. That's the optimal play here. So he has 39 HP. He's not going to be able to face the music all that much, so he's going to be trading off the up with shield. Maybe the resin offer. This is not a great sign for the Prodigies on the 27th round, as they do. Got the type on here.
Man, I'm not exactly sure what happened over there because that was a round that I definitely want to listen to the actual comms, and they unironically just kind of fed themselves into the meat grinder, typing with a brilliant setup over towards the top of mid. And the funny thing about it is that they actually started off the execution with a Molotov over towards short in the attempts and in the hopes to actually push some of these CTs a little bit further back into A, but they reclaimed that territory, and then suddenly you have Sensei, Dan, and Jackie just absolutely farming kills over towards the top of mid. But I'm not exactly sure what happened on the side of the Prodigies.
I guess they wanted to trade the kill on Boiler and couldn't quite find the mark, and this just led to a cascade effect where they went one by one, and Type on just crossfire them in perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we saw any kind of like follow-up flashes except for the first one that was tossed on through, and the moment that you lost your first player, it's just like, quick, get the trade, secure the refrag, somebody needs to act right now. And Typen were more than willing to, you know, reclaim that lost territory and catch the Prodigies with their pants around their ankles, but that kind of one-dimensional approach is not something that I would have expected the Prodigies to do. Like, split the forces a little bit, divide and conquer a bit more.
I guess the short notice call was, okay, we need to stay in the lead in terms of kills. Since they got the first frag, so they might as well attempt to stay in the lead, and it kind of backfired. Just ended up leaving them completely in the back foot and just forcing awkward trades. But now, let's see, they're switching it up a little bit. They're stacking 3 players on apps now. Mr. Patrick, Mr. Cree, and Mr. FNK. They're coming out of balcony now. Setting up
flashes. Yeah, they're already ready to go. No smoke actually set up either. So Nito and Dan, they're happily going to once again find frags for days. Nito, once again in this prime position, picks up a 4-piece. Absolute monstrosities coming out from him right there, and is going to leave Shield in a 1v3 clutch or kiss scenario, and I have a feeling that it's going to be nothing but smooches for him.
Like you could clutch or kiss. 5 rounds in the mag. Let's see what he can actually do here, because he is facing against another Opper, Sensei. Has proven to be a big menace. He sees Jackie, but doesn't quite find the crosshair on the target. They move slowly back into mid. Probably gonna try and save this Op.
Uh-oh. I'm not feeling confident about this one. Yeah. With his knife out, there's no way that he could have expected Queel to be that far off into ultimate either way. He was a sitting duck. Easy frag right there for Queel, and they once again play a little bit of catch-up, and they do tie up the scoreline following 2 rounds in a row on the CT side. The Prodigies now left in a very precarious situation, but I do want to highlight Nito's play right here from the back of A. I believe that is like the 2nd time that he was hunkering down over by that ninja position on top of the crates, and he just gets away with another multi-kill. He did that far earlier in the half, and now he's just reliving the glory days again.
It seems to be like a standard positioning for Taipan. They like swap around every now and again, but once they find themselves in a numerical disadvantage, they just hunker down on the ninja position, like you said, and it's usually Kakanito that's up there. The thing is, the Prodigy, since they're not always up there, I guess it depends on who they frag first. They don't have the custom of looking up that crate. So this time around, Kakanito catches them off guard and just sprays them down completely. The Prodigy manages to trade him, but it's too little too late, as they now go into a full echo, readying themselves up for the final few rounds of this first match of the ESEA Advanced.
Yeah, only 2 more rounds left to play within regulation, and it could very likely end up as a win for Typen right here, given the Glock lineup that we see on the side of the Prodigies. A flashbang boots Nico for a swing, but it's a little bit of a miss right there. Keen does get away with the opener with the deagle, but Dan immediately trades it back with an HE, and then some. 52 extra damage dealt to Keen is definitely going to leave a mark for him, and now they're just trying to tempt and bait this Op into making a mistake, but Sensei is not willing to pull the trigger just yet. Does fire off one. But, oh, it gets messy because
Yeah.
you've got Dan covering back in from short. That shuts down FNK.
And now that smoke shuts down Keen as he moves in with the information in hand. Dan from behind on Boiler takes down Keen. Is down to Kree and Shield to try to pull some magic. They do have the bomb, and there's only Jackie defending defending B site.
Yeah.
Look at the mini map. Like the rest of the Taipan squad are hunkered down on A site, and they have the middle cross. They have the middle cross completely locked in. See how they work it. As Jackie is on dark, gets 1 kill, and only Shield left to go. He has the information, but does he have the timing? I don't think he does.
No, and the rest of the cavalry has already arrived. Even if he manages to somehow hit 3 back-to-back headshots with that Glock, he will eventually be traded. But it is Taipan to hit 15 first, so they now sit on map and best-of-1 series points. The Prodigies, they only have one option: secure 5 kills to force the issue and send us thwarting into overtime to open things up in Season 45.
Option, honestly.
Same. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm a fan of the overtime as we go into another tactical pause here. On the 30th round of this first game, we do see that Shield. I mean, we do see the Prodigies have already gone into a full buy. We still have some cash here on Kree to get an extra grenade if he wants to. 350 can get an extra flashbang, can get him an HE, perhaps. But I think this is how the Prodigies are going to roll into what could potentially be the last round. But let's see. Taipan have a lot of weapons left lying around. And Jackie is actually going to opt into the AK.
I'm also... I did see, like, Sensei's kind of juggling his weapons a little bit.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually just bringing a rifle a little bit closer up to potentially that B bomb side. Not exactly sure, but Dan is getting curious over towards the balcony side. He actually does catch Patrick down on top of that. Okay, so entry back for Taipan. This doesn't bode all too well as Nita once again just continues to power on through. Keen is going to retake this territory, but the Prodigies have once again just fed themselves into the meat grinder. Shield tries to get a leash around the necks of Taipan, and FNK will finally clap down 1 to thwart us back into the 2v3, and they're just legging it over towards B. Jackie is in close proximity to respond, though.
He is. Will they be looking at the smoke? I believe Shield is looking straight at the smoke. But what is going to be the call here? He's going through ruins, going through trying to get, but plant's done. 3v2 right now. A series of misfires here from the Prodigies made them lose a lot of numbers on apartments, but they do manage to get the rebounds on apps on B site. Will FNK be able to do it? He's got 36 HP and a 1v1 to play with.
He doesn't exactly know where Queel is coming on through, but now he hears the defuse. Queel actually might be trying to stick this with the kid. And FNK at the prime moment, just narrowly at the 11th hour, bails the Prodigies out of suffering their first loss within the regular season. Coming into the rescue at the very last possible moment to clutch up in the 1v3. It got messy right there.
It did. Way too messy for my comfort. I'm gonna be honest with you. He sacked Shields up to actually get information on the whereabouts of the rest of the Taipan squad. He found them on the back of ruins, got the 2K, and then it was down to 1v1, which was very touching. Like, the thing is, this was also, at the same time, this was a misplay by Taipan because FNK had no information on the whereabouts of the last player. As soon as he touched the bomb, that's where FNK goes, okay, I know exactly where the 1v1 is going to be held. I have the information position because, like, at that point, Taipan had no idea where FNK was.
None whatsoever. And I mean, if we take it just even a couple of seconds even further back, then it was just a bit of a misplay coming out from Shield because he wanted to toss out a flashbang to let FNK go for that actual swing, but he just pulls out the flashbang at the very wrong moment and tosses it with his body completely exposed. And eventually the flashbang does go off after FNK gets that first kill, but he's completely full flashed. He has to somehow re-engage because he has no other option, somehow gets away with the kill, and then Taipan trying to stick the defuse just didn't really work out, but hell, that's all in the past. For now, it's 15 all. Overtime is on the cards. We're going to cut to a short little break, so don't go away too far because you won't want to miss it.
with a full clip of lyrics. Feel my spirit from your head to your speaker. Know where I'm headed, but riches. If you ain't with it, then good riddance. Popping and locking, I'll never be stopping. I'm jogging, they'll never be breaking. Let's sweat. I'm a jaw dropper.
So the Prodigies have always had one particular rock, one shoulder that the rest of the team can always lie down upon for a little bit of extra support, and his name is FNK. Bailing them out at the 11th hour means that we are going to overtime on Inferno.
Yes, we are. And I'm telling you, I am hungry, and I'm hungry for a good old overtime. Hopefully, the Prodigies don't have to actually struggle too hard to get a big dub here on overtime. Maybe we can resolve it in the first or the first few instances of the overtime. We don't have to go into a double overtime or something like that, because historically, whenever the Prodigies go into overtime, it never is just one overtime.
No, definitely not. I mean, just at the very least, looking at the sheet from the very, very last season, number 44, I think it was the last match that they actually did play in overtime was versus the Fluffy Gangsters. I might be getting that wrong, but it was a 22-19 win, which was a very, very labored double overtime session as well.
And I guess it's the story with most of their overtimes. I've casted at least 2 of their overtimes, not against that team. I don't remember that name in particular, but both of them went into at least double overtime.
Yeah, no, that is just like to be expected. That's tradition when we're watching the Prodigies. And FNK is gonna quickly tear both Queel and Nito and U1 right there. Man is tired of getting kicked about. He wants to do some of the kicking himself.
And he's kicking and turning and forcing the Taipan squad to actually fall back over to B site, as Shield now pushing very, very aggressively with the op. He's not going to find anyone. The Prodigies actually rotate down to mid. They've already taken down 2 players. Sensei is still alive, and I think they do have the information. So they're just going to leave FNK lurking on Banana.
Yeah.
In case someone decides to counter-rotate the Prodigies here.
Potentially, but I mean, like, Taipan, they've already called in Sensei to rotate and reinforce this B bomb site, so they've left that entire A site up for grabs and open for business. Whether the Prodigies know it or not, they're eventually going to realize that it's completely clear, but they don't realize it. And surely Keen at a certain point must be able to call. They're going back to B. What is this?
They re-rotated back to B. Keen is lurking on A, and he's going like, wait, guys, there's nobody here. Please come along.
Okay, there we go. Oh, sigh of relief. That would have been scary as hell, bro.
Would have, but look at the minimap now. You have already Sensei moving around through B, through CT spawn. Maybe getting a second thought here. Maybe they're kind of rotating. Do we want to fight this? Because FNK is now trying to push in on Banana. He's going to still be lurking around on B side. He's basically swapped roles with Keen, who was lurking on A, and now it's his turn to be lurking around on B. I guess Taipan just gave the call really, really early on in this round because they did not move a single inch. They gave the call that, okay, we're just going to save this round. We don't really care.
And it was very, very early when that save call even happened. But I guess it was, I don't even know if it was an intentional save call or it was just a misreading of the situation that forced Sensei to rotate back over towards B because Taipan, within their rights, thought it was a B side execution, and then they realized, wait, the B hit is not actually coming. They've probably already taken control over towards A. We're not going to fight it, so we may as well just save while we're already here.
Absolutely. So that's going to be round 1 on the overtime for the Prodigies. Massive, good first round here for a squad, but this is overtime. Everybody has a lot of money to play with, so Taipan can still go in for another full buy before we head into the halftime of the first half of overtime, really.
Yeah.
I heard chickens die. I don't like that.
I know you don't.
Yeah, Canito in the mid lane. Actually, where's the op? Right? I like to look at the minimap. We do see the op Sensei from Taipan on Banana. Gets taken down. Super aggressive opping gone wrong.
Ooh, not for Shield, though. He's well and on point. Shuts down Queel over towards Kara as well. So now it's Jeki, the lonely defender, over towards his B side. Does recover the AWP as well as Nito is once again locking down this top mid side. The flashbang may be yet to come for the Prodigies, but he's actually trying to force the issue. Dan finds one and Kree immediately trades it back, and as the smoke dissipates, so do the Prodigies move onwards and upwards. What a crucial shot coming out from Shield right there.
How does he keep getting away with these close-range shots?
I don't know, bro.
He point blanks everybody. We saw this during regular time. We saw this during regular time on the A side. Yeah, exactly.
He did it twice, just running into Nito's face over towards the Ninja on the A bomb side. I think it was like round number 20 or something like that. Doesn't matter. But Shield, he is not necessarily built different. He is constructed alternatively.
I like that. I like that. That option. Yeah, I like that a little bit better.
He is assembled intriguingly.
I don't have anything for you. My vocabulary is not that extensive, but I value that you gave me a window for the effort. I still appreciate it. But yeah, the Prodigy so far 2 rounds into overtime, 2 wins. Now, Taipon, they're not very healthy. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point in time, right? Because if they win or lose this round, we're just going to go into the second half of overtime.
Prodigies, all they need is 19 right here, and it hasn't been looking pretty, as you mentioned, for Taipon. One mistake, and they suddenly face a 3-round deficit that they might not be able to even come back from.
Not at all. Nobody likes overtimes, but this could be a good call to action here for the Prodigies, finishing it off in one single overtime against Taipon. They're gonna try to break an edge, or at least try to garner some information as they inch in closer to the B site.
Yeah. No rush coming on through. Their progress is going to be halted just for a little bit longer by that Molotov, but the Prodigies have got nothing but time. Ooh, contact already found onto Kree, and he is not going to be looking healthy off of that one. Patrick looking to now join in on the fun. There is a crossfire established, though.
There is a big crossfire. No, I saw, because I'm looking at the minimap, right? So you saw the entry, you saw a lot of noise going around around mid. Jackie and Queel did not move from B site at all, not an inch.
No.
You did actually see. No, but the thing is, you actually saw Sensei around the minimap circling around and starting to maybe get an idea to go over to B to try to predict a potential rotation, but immediately he goes back through the library, and that's where he's sitting right now. Queel has information, takes a hit, pushes back.
No more time to be indecisive right here. A call to action is required, and Queel does his darnest to keep things in check on the bomb site, but it's been fully compromised. Sensei wildly spraying with big green through the smoke as the bomb goes down, and now the Prodigies, they are boxed in, but they want to retake mid. I mean, Banana instead, but Nito is right there to meet them. He gets away with one, but Patrick is good for the trade instead. So now control of Banana reestablished for the Prodigies, and that CT side smoke is going to dissipate. Patrick finds contact, but he's left on 3 HP. Shield is going to have to do most of the lifting right now that his comrade has fallen. The op connects, but no lethal damage dealt. And it's Dan to close things off. Get that defuse stuck in Taipon. They get away by the skin of their teeth in the first 3 rounds of OT.
Oh man, that was way too close to call it a day. I mean, incredible performance here by the Prodigies, but circling back around into Banana really cost them hard. They did not expect Taipon to actually be waiting around. I think we lost a little bit too many. We lost way too many resources on this entry on B side. A little bit too forced, but I guess you were running out of time to actually go for yet another rotation since you already used so many resources down mid, right? To fake an entry, you didn't have that much to go for here on B. Had to happen. Unfortunately, not the cleanest execution, but still one that will keep us in the lead by 1 round coming into the second half.
Still, it was that entire decision of opting to retake Banana that just still very much puzzles me altogether. Instead of hunkering down, playing your post-plant positions, you're trying to force a gunfight that you didn't even know existed over towards Banana. And sure, they eventually came out completely even in the 2v2 scenario from it, but it just felt really weird. I don't know.
Kakanito now around the gutter going through across into the second mid, but A lot of Molotovs flying around. This is what happens when we have full buys. Very, very chaotic rounds. Especially on the first round of overtimes. You see Creep rotating around over to A site where everybody from Taipan is already stacking. Nice smoke to cut their entries. Let's see, they still have a lot of time to play with. It's still 1 minute, 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. They can go for a couple of baits more, but I don't think they have a lot of utility still to work with. But let's see how Taipan make this attack work. They have 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and a molly.
That's perfect for an A site execution. I don't know how you'd be able to pull that off on a B site execution. Potentially a smoke over towards long/library, and then you might be able to go for an apps pop. It is going to be very, very rough for them to actually get that done. And the Prodigies, their util belts looking a little bit empty, but now we push the go button. It is Kree to find opening contact. Shield once again keeping things neat and tidy inside of the bomb site twice. He's good with the op right there, but Taipan, they do manage to break through. Back now into the 2v2 we find ourselves, and the bomb plant will be going down. Queel punches in those numbers, and suddenly the clock resets back up to 45.
45 seconds left on the clock. We only have 1 diffuse kit to play with, and that's on FNK. Luckily, both of our health bars are nice and full. We're nice and healthy. Bar FNK is at 91, but doesn't really matter, as we are going to see an entry now onto A site. Wheel at 10 HP. Over the box. We have the information. We take one down. Not even. The Prodigies get tied up once again on overtime.
Really good stuff coming out from Queel as well. I'm not exactly sure if he anticipated for the Prodigies to go for that boost onto the boxes during the A site retake, but the moment, I think it was it Patrick or FNK that went for the boost on top of the boxes? Like, he just exposed himself for what felt like 2 frames, and he was already dead immediately afterwards. Taipan played that really, really well in the post plant as well, but losing out on the A bomb side right there, I mean, there's only so much that you can ask from Shield in this scenario. You're playing in a very uncomfortable and claustrophobic situation with the AWP. You still get away with 2 kills right over there, but we really needed the rest of the riflers to chime in and do a little bit more of the heavy lifting.
Absolutely. Unlucky for Shield, he got caught off on the massive entry from the apartments, but now let's see. Still, full buys all around. We have a lot of cash to work with. And it's stacking up to be a double overtime yet again, or at least a double overtime. Hopefully, we'll be able to secure a couple rounds.
Yeah. Shield not willing to take up the duel versus Sensei, though. That's shows a little bit of respect right there from Shield.
Bring through the smoke. FNK doesn't quite find anyone, as that was a bait smoke. Down some information towards Taipan's side. At least 1 player from the Prodigies is defending Banana. A couple of utilities utilized here. Because now they're trying to make a decision. Taipan trying to figure out how they want to play this. Throw a smoke. They throw Molly a little bit higher. Flash goes in. Try to blind someone from the Prodigies. Doesn't quite land on anyone. Shield on a good position here on Library to try to cut off anybody coming in through A long.
The mantle of responsibility that's just weighing over FNK's shoulders right now is insurmountable. He is the only person on the B bomb site, and he hears the steps, drops down the Molotov as well, and Taipan, they are going to smoke that off. So now it's time for Taipan to hit the go button, but the flashbang doesn't come on through. FNK gets away with 1 before Queel secures the trade. Then we do have Shield coming in to the fray to join in on the fun as well. He has retaken coffins, but the bomb plant goes down in record time. Keen reassuming control of Banana. He's got Kree to boot as well, and they are starting to snuff out Jackie. That's a 4v3 now bagged in. Information towards Dark confirmed as Nito strikes down 1 and 2. Queel with another yet again, and Taipan, man, they managed to absolutely smack down the Prodigies in one of the most well-coordinated fights I've seen them take up. That kill feed was nothing but red.
Nothing but red, and once again, it's down to the last round. The Prodigies need to secure this round in order to move into the second overtime. And if we get anything close to a repeat of what the first half of this overtime was, Prodigies are going to win. Prodigies are going to take this round. It's going to be the exact same as the first
Shield.
one.
Yeah. Pops in with the op. Nice little how do you do, and well, he takes down Queel, one of the top performers on the side of Taipan right now. But Jeki, he's getting a little bit curious over towards Banana. Shield also smacks down that app's presence, so we wave goodbye to Nito, who is 1 kill away from hitting a dirty 30. Oof.
Goes the Weasel. That's right in the face of FNK. I feel that one, but so far so good. It's down to Sensei and Danny to try to maybe take home this round, maybe take home this overtime. It's not going to work, as we have all the information that we need. Sensei is at 28 HP versus 3 members of the Prodigies and Tudor.
We're running it back.
We're running it back into a second overtime.
Yeah. So the Prodigies once again by the skin of their teeth, just as they did in regulation, they once again do in OT1, and we are gonna have to play a whole nother best of 6 once again to see if this match is going to go on for a little bit longer or if someone will eventually rise victorious. That started off so damn strong for the Prodigies on the T side. In those opening 2 rounds, 31 and 32, we barely saw a sign of life actually come on through from Typin, and then suddenly they just decided to actually play the video game.
You're right, but the thing is, are we even surprised at the fact that we managed to go into a second overtime? Or not that we managed, but the fact that we actually have to go into a second overtime, because this is history repeating itself. It's just, it's part of the charm of the Prodigies. We know we don't get satisfied with just one single overtime. You have to get 2 of them, and we have a wee bit of a replay as what happened here in the last round. It was actually a round that I didn't quite understand how it went south so fast. I guess Taipon went 1 by 1 trying to get a crossfire, but they didn't really
Yeah, they were kind of off doing their own side quests, and Shield was he just happened to be on the opposite end of the stick, just willing to press mouse 1 on that AWP. Relatively uncoordinated coming out from Taipin, but now they have the opportunity to rectify those mistakes from OT1 as Sensei immediately, well, lets the horses out onto the race. He finds the opener onto Kree, who does trade things off with a Molotov on top of that from the grave. As Shield is suspicious of some kind of app's presence as Jeki continues to brute force his way further and further down. FNK, oh, he gets caught with his pants around his ankles, and now the call's coming on through for the Prodigies and Typin to rotate and once again put even more focus down on that B side.
Let's see if they can actually get the fence coming, because we are completely off-site. We trade 1 for 1, but we're still in a numerical disadvantage. 20 HP left on Dan 1, and all of a sudden, Shield also takes down Queel, and it's up to Kakanito to try to get the retake, but he's a little bit late to the party as the Prodigies take the lead on the second overtime.
Maybe it might have been Typin jumping the gun right there with going for the plant, because yeah, Nito was in a completely different postal code. He was in Narnia right there towards the very end of it. If it wasn't for the Prodigy's efficiency of dealing with that retake and shutting down the player that was over towards Coffin, and I have to give credit where credit is due, because Patrick did not give a hoot. He simply barged through that Molotov, found the kill over towards Coffin, and actually willed that entire retake into reality, which is how the Prodigy should have been playing from the very get-go as well. But Typin, a little bit of miscoordination, didn't quite piece that one together.
That was a late response from Sensei. He didn't really react quite in time, and he lost way too much HP to be comfortable here. 37 HP left on the upper of Taipon. Great defense so far by the Prodigies, but Taipon still have 5 members to play with. But then again, the Prodigies have a lot of span to throw out.
Yeah, they do. Shield is in a very inconspicuous position, and he can't even keep long on lockdown. He has to get curious and fake check it. He finds Nito on top of that. A reaction prompted from Dan, but he's missed his window of opportunity. He's instead going to dig himself deeper over towards long, which is exactly where Patrick is soon going to find himself. Jackie gets smacked down on top of that. Keen finds him with his pants around his ankles, and suddenly a 5v3 now established as Patrick catches Dan trying to sneak his way into enemy territory.
Queel's already been spotted. Takes a huge hit, dropping him to 27 HP. The Prodigies, well, Patrick goes down to the information that he just collected, but 37 HP on Sensei, 27 on Queel. Make that nil.
Risk.
That's a 0 HP Queel. And now it's down to Sensei. trying to at least tag down someone from the Prodigies to try to maybe balance out the economies coming to what could potentially be the last round of this half. He does plant the bomb, and this could be a good sign for Taipon, but the Prodigies take over the site and secure round again.
Indeed, they do. They get themselves a 20th round on the board right here on the CT side. So that already marks down 2 CT rounds in a row, which is, once again, I think just how things started off in the very, very last batch of OT. So now if Taipon are able to get their heads together, they might be able to walk away with yet another round over here. But just the overall clearance of trying to snuff out Shield, who was at the very, very bottom of Boiler, was probably one of the most awkward engagements that I've seen in my entire life, because how often do you see a CT op just kind of stood idly by at the bottom of the Boiler staircase? It's such an uncommon position to play, and yet Shield made it work somehow.
It's Shield, man. It's the unpredictability that really takes home the game, and let's see if they can manage to pull a clean first half on the second overtime. As the spray comes through, Sensei pushes in. No op in his hands. He doesn't need one. He can work well with an AK. As a trade 1-for-1, Creel is down, but so is FNK.
Yeah. And now would be bomb site execute in the making, is being set into motion as we speak, but those Molotovs, they're going to keep Taipon at bay just for a little bit longer. Shield is already on minimal HP, and now we have to rely on Key to do a lot of the heavy lifting and put in much of the work. He finds Nito on top of that, and Shield is just getting harassed and cyberbullied by all of that util. And Keen at the top of Coffin, He's got the element of surprise. He finds one, and Shield is able to keep things on lock from within the bomb site. Suddenly it's all down to Sensei. No bomb on his back. That is stranded in no man's land in the 1v3. He has to try to somehow muster up a miracle right here, but he is just taking so much util damage. He's been spotted out, and an ouchie turns into a bleh as he dies.
Absolutely, and this puts us in a very, very comfortable position coming into the second half of overtime, because Tudor, I do believe it is Macho Pointo. The shirt's been coming off. Shield is ready to fight, and man, we are ready to take the first big dub here on ESEA Season 45.
Yeah, I mean, gloves came off, it's been a bare-knuckle brawl, and apparently shirts come off as well, and I don't have a follow-up pun for that.
There's no pun.
No.
It's just accepted, and
there's no puns, there's no metaphors, there's no euphemisms, there's absolutely nothing that comes to mind for Shield taking his shirt off.
Nope. It is literally just enjoy the ride. I know I am.
So am I right here. It's been a absolute screamer of a matchup so far. But the Prodigies, they now sit on 21 rounds. As you said, map and best of 1 series points. All that stands between them and getting themselves a few extra points on the leaderboard in the Advanced Division is just 5 kills. That's all that's required on the T side.
See how they handle this. Keen taking a little bit of damage. 74 HP still left on the counter. The last round, Keen opens up and takes down Jackie. 4v5 right now as the rotation comes through. The Prodigy making it nice and fast here as they make it through apps.
No one's on B.
But they don't know.
They have no way of knowing. They're instead going to try to go for this A-side execution, but it's Nito once again to absolutely rip and tear his way through them.
And Patrick from behind, can he still secure the round? No, he can't. Gets tapped in the face. Oh man, Taipon are still in the game. And with the Prodigies, they feel the match point. They know, they smell it. It's blood in the water, and they want it.
They can taste it at this certain stage. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would come up with a sixth sense on the spot to be able to experience how close this match W is. But once again, Nito just coming in clutch for what is the 4th time, if I'm not mistaken, where he gets more than a triple kill on Inferno so far. He's been having an absolute screamer of a game. 32 kills to his name.
Well, the closest we have is Patrick on 30, so that's still impressive as is. But yeah, absolutely. Nito putting up the meat grinderito. FNK doesn't see him! Gets taken down by Jackie on another double op setup. And I guess they know now that there's a double op setup. Sensei looking over A site, but the thing is, this double op setup only leaves Jackie alone on B site.
And that requires nothing but the utmost perfection to come out from Jackie this time around. Queel, though, He has spoken and he has claimed the life of Patrick. In comes
Big
Molotov.
Molly.
Now Jackie has to actually bail himself out with the smoke grenade and reposition over towards Quad, but it's still down to a 5v2. Jackie is given not a single opportunity to let that op sing a sweet song of death, but it has not been silenced. Keen goes down, and suddenly it's all left to Shield to try to clutch up, but he doesn't get the chance or the time of day to even do his own part right there. Type and they come back with a vengeance.
Not another overtime.
I beg of you, please stop.
Just take the round. We took 3 rounds cleanly on the defense. We just need 1 round on the offense. 1 single round. And it's down to the wire once again. Here we go. Another offense. This is our last chance on the second overtime of this match. Typon putting up an amazing defense here.
Ooh, that
On
is
the second
heavy
overtime.
nade damage. Oh my god.
That's a kill.
Wheel
And a-
goes down.
Yep.
And Jackie's on 11.
Yep, Jackie's absolutely on life support, but they still run the double op setup, which I do feel like the Prodigies should have the intel to know that. Yeah, well, I guess
Dan? Hello?
when you give the kills out like that, I mean,
Oh,
you peek out the window without peeking out the window. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, at this certain stage, having a freebie handed to you on a silver platter, there is no way that the Prodigies can let this 40-second round slip through their fingers. They're going to apply the brakes,
Yes and
so
no.
no more gas given in this round for the time being. They are waiting and baiting Typin into making some kind of mistake.
The thing is, they don't have the information on how Typon are actually split, so they don't know if it's safer to go B or to go A. Sensei currently, we have the information because we have full access to the minimap. Right now, only Sensei is looking over mid on Boiler, and 2 members of Typon are holding down on B side. Still, if we have a good placement of our spam, which we have plenty of, if you look at our inventories, we have 5 smoke grenades to work with, which we are laying down right now, plus a molly on Dark. This should open up a huge avenue for the Prodigies to march over to B site.
And we've already got, well, the exact opposite of that, a march over towards the A side instead. Keen is trying to fish out for Sensei, who is the only bit of defense left over towards A. Drop over towards Pit, and Sensei, he was looking at the wrong target. He gets away with 1, but it is FNK on the lurk to close this one off. Inferno taken 22-20 after 42 rounds of play. The Prodigies, they finally get this one under their belts.
It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that, but opening up the season with a big dub always has to feel good. It's an omen that we are ready to strike over ESEA Advanced and move on into the bracket. This was an amazing overtime. I am sweating. This was a game and a half, and this last round, as soon as the bomb planted, FNK, like you said, was lurking them from behind, caught them running over to the rotation over to A site, and completely obliterated the rest of Typon into a big old dub. I liked it. I loved it, and what a way to start the season.
Yeah, what a way to close off the game as well after 42 rounds of play. I mean, the overall call at the end of the day for them to just quickly shift over their focus after having expended so much util over towards the B bomb side and just be like, nah, we're actually feeling A instead. They just leg it over towards there, trying to just basically ensue and stir chaos on the side of Typin was 100% the right call. But I do have to commend Typin for committing to the bit at the end of the day, because they didn't rotate off their last AWP player in Sensei that was still lurking over towards the A site. He played his life, and he definitely did go down with the ship. He only got away with 1 kill, though. He was looking over towards short, and that's when Shield could just quickly go for a little bit of an Assassin's Creed leap of faith down from the apartment's balcony and absolutely tear him a new one.
Yeah, it was way too many
just
targets
done.
for such a short for such a short rate of fire with the op. But you know, we closed off the season with an interview with the in-game leader. How about we start off the season with an interview with the in-game leader himself? Keen is on the phone here. Big smile on that cute little face after a big dub, huh? Opening up the season that well. How does it feel, man?
Hey, Skater Boy. It feels awesome.
over there.
Of course, it feels awesome. Obviously, we wanted like to have a better score. It was like a bit too close to comfort, but we're still new, and they won both pistols, so super
Yeah,
super happy.
they did get away with both pistols, which was definitely something that neither of us were expecting, especially when we compare it to you guys' record of playing Inferno in the very, very last season, and you guys walking with the majority of the pistols over there. And obviously, the Prodigies, they have seen a couple of new changes with Quartz and SBT now having gone to Sinners and Arcadia. We've got Patrick and Korean. How has it been trying to get accustomed and once again rebuild chemistry with 2 new additions into the team?
I think it's been super easy. Those 2 players are very easy to fit in. They just ask me what do we do, and I just tell them what we do. And like I feel like they've done a really good job at listening and writing everything down and basically paying attention, right, and not really deviating from the plan. So they're super
Okay.
good. Loving
That's
it.
good to hear. Because speaking of paying attention, I was paying attention, and I want to know what the hell is a Bulgarian setup?
Oh, it's like a crossfire. It's funny.
okay.
Yeah, I'm never really alive to be in one, right? So I never do it, but it's always like shielding someone. It's like where the side guy watches short cross and the pit player watches side cross, and as soon as like
Okay.
as soon as the guy from pit has contact on long, that's when the side player stops watching short and peeks long.
That is
It's alright.
amazing. Wow. Okay, thank you. Well, that's answered. We queued in for comms. We heard like the Bulgarian go for the Bulgarian setup. Like, dude, what the hell was
Yeah.
that? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. They canceled it. But yeah,
enough.
that's it.
It didn't necessarily work out, but yeah, they didn't really need to have it work out the Bulgarian set bit at the end of the day, but good to know exactly what that is in case you guys do whip it out on comms yet again. The one thing that I do kind of want to focus on at the very least was specifically over towards Type. And I mean, they've already played one game on Vertigo a little bit earlier at the start of the season as well, but they have had more than a couple of actual shining moments throughout the entire series, with Nito picking up a couple of multi-kills here and there. But I do want to shift focus over towards the anti-eco rounds for you guys, because they got away with a couple of anti-eco rounds in the very, very start of the first half when you guys were on the CT side. Often they would take basically just 1 or 2 hero AKs at most and just overall Tech 9s to surround the rest of the weapon lineup. And you guys are still struggling with a couple of those anti-eco rounds while you can absolutely slaughter them on buy rounds. Is there any particular reason why anti-eco rounds have been a bit of a struggle for the Prodigies, or is it just very much case dependent on how the other team is responding?
So I feel like we almost win all T-side anti-ecos, right? Meanwhile, on CD, it's more about individual skill. It's still about the setup, so I'm definitely going to investigate, right? Thanks for bringing it up. Like, I'm going to go watch the demo, investigate what exactly is happening. But generally speaking, we lose ecos if I die to nades on banana, right? Or we're still not very good at holding short explodes, right? If they like explode short with Tech 9s, I feel like. So we obviously need like to counter that, and I need to be way more careful to dying like to nade rushes on banana, because like that's like so common that I should be always basically aware. Yeah, we just need to add more stuff and see what configuration like it works in, right? Different anti-ecos, different anti-forces, depending on what we like expect.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, it's not necessarily something that is that has a pattern to it. It's not like I'm saying every single one of the anti-ecos that you guys play on the CT side you end up losing, but there has been a couple of patterns that myself and AC and some of the rest of the talent have also picked up on over the last 2 seasons, where you guys do tend to struggle with them here and there. But obviously, when it comes to a little bit of a nade investment, as you mentioned, if they just go for a full-on nade stack over towards banana, over towards the top of mid, and one of your players just happens to be there by chance, then yeah, I mean, sucks that it happens here and there, but there are definitely a few bits that can be investigated at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm thinking, AC, have you got anything else? Or
No, I mean, I think it's time we let King go. I'm sure he has a lot of celebrations to do and preparations, because on Wednesday we already have another game, right? Or it's Thursday. It's on Thursday. All right.
It's
we
on
have
Thursday,
we have
okay.
one more day to prep for that game. But thank you for the interview, Keen. I really appreciate talking to you again. Once again, I haven't to get a skateboard going, but I'll post videos. Don't worry. I'll keep my promises once I get the skateboarding. I'll break my freaking teeth for you. Jesus Christ.
Absolute
man.
pleasure to
Alright.
have you on here, Keen. You have a good one and have a very, very good time with the boys celebrating, and best of luck in the next game that is taking place in just a couple of days away as well. Good luck to you guys.
All right, thanks, guys. See ya. Bye bye.
Thanks. You have a good one, mate.
Man,
Well.
and that's Keen. That's Keen is still very, very clearly glad that he got that win. It was torturous double overtime, but we got the dub.
Yeah, we did get the dub. I mean, just thinking back already, there were so many glorious moments that we're going to relive in just a couple of moments when the highlights start rolling on through. But before we get to that, we obviously have a couple of more festivities to go through, namely the MVPs and the stats for tonight's matchup. I wouldn't be able to call exactly who the MVP is. 32
Patrick.
kills. Patrick, are you sure about that? No.
FNK? Are you
It's
kidding me? With an
FNK.
ADR of 101, 32 kills, 9 assists, and 32 deaths, it is FNK, turning player for the Prodigies that took the MVP this run. But I expected Patrick, like the unsung warrior. He didn't.
Maybe.
He got a couple of clutch rounds, nothing too spicy, but ultimately FNK gets the MVP on the first game of the ESEA Advance against Taipan. Let's see the rest of the stats to see how the rest of the squad matched up to FNK.
I mean, on the subject of FNK really, really quickly, I might be completely goofing. I might be completely capping right here, but I do recall FNK already hitting double digits in the slaying department like fairly early into the game. I believe we were about like 5 or 6 rounds in, and he already got like 11 or 12 kills by that point. The majority, or not the majority, but definitely a third of his kill total happened within the very, very early stages of the matchup on Inferno on that CT side within just a couple of rounds. He had an absolutely ridiculous kickoff to Inferno as well. And him alongside Patrick, yeah, they've hit the dirty 30s. We've got Nito and Jackie as well on the opposite side of the spectrum that pulled so much weight to keep them alive, with Nito constantly and consistently finding impact with multi-kills where it was needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this kind of scoreboard is expected when you reach this kind of lengths going into a match like this. You know, it's very, very bloody. Not a lot of. We actually didn't see a lot of echo action in the past season. We did see the Prodigies kind of going for more conservative plays. This time around, we saw a lot of action, a lot of attempts at clutching rounds and stealing rounds away from Taipan, and I'm happy. I'm actually happy to see this cohesion on the squad this early on, and it shows that the scrims have been going well. Can't wait for the match, and so going forward into the ESEA Advanced, I see greatness in their future, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really fun to watch this 45th season of ESEA unravel. And speaking of their future, let's go ahead and once again just recap the schedule for you guys so we can take a look at exactly what is on the docket for the next couple of weeks and coming up in the next couple of days. So obviously, the next game that we have lined up is going to be in 3 days' time on the 20th of the month. I believe that is a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, as well, versus Gentle Folk. After that, Little Mix and Budapest 5 in about a week's time on top of that as well. So plenty of festivities coming on through pretty hot fast.
Yeah, very big games coming in very, very close, but this will have to wait. I don't think we played against Little Mix GG last season, but Gentle Folk are a team that we're kind of familiar with, and so are Budapest 5, 2 teams that we absolutely smashed in season 44 of ESEA Advanced. But with that being said, Tudor, it is time that we start saying goodbye to our audience.
Yeah, indeed. It is time for us to sign off. So, once again, thank you so much to each and every single one of you guys for tuning in. If you want to stay up to date with everything and anything surrounding the Prodigies, make sure to go ahead and drop a follow on the stream down below. And you can also go ahead and check us out on Twitter at Prodigy Agency GG to stay up to date with anything and everything. From myself and the rest of the production crew, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you join us for what has been an absolute screamer of an opening matchup for ESEA season number 45. AC, pleasure to have you once again by my side for this best of one blowout. It's been super duper fun, and be sure to be back here on Thursday at roughly 6 p.m. CEST for the following best of one matchup in the 45th season so far. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Take care.
don't wanna package this. Pray for peace, pacifist. I'm never old enough to give a fuck.
We are Prodigy Agency. We represent and support the best esports players in the world. With our family spirit, we provide everything you need during difficult moments or epic ones. We work on every aspect of your journey, planning and managing your career to find the best teams toward one goal: victory. We negotiate your contracts and transfers. We find sponsors and commercial opportunities. We help you grow your own brand, cultivate your image, and developing your merch, social media, and content. We take care of your health and performances. And everything we do it for you. Your success is our goal. Prodigy Agency, players first.